Akashwani presents Morning News. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Viksit Bharat Viksit Rajasthan program and inaugurate national highway projects worth more than 5,000 crore rupees in the state this morning. Prime Minister to also launch development projects worth more than 9,750 crore rupees in Rewari, Haryana today. Centre holds talks with Kisan Union leaders on their various demands, including a law guaranteeing MSP for crops. In Bengaluru Open Tennis, Sumit Nagal enters men's singles quarterfinals, beating Coleman Wong of Hong Kong in straight sets. And in cricket, India to resume their first innings at the overnight score of 326 for 5 against England on the second day of the third test in Rajkot. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will address the Viksit Bharat Viksit Rajasthan program today via video conferencing. During the program, Prime Minister will inaugurate, dedicate to the nation and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects worth over 17,000 crore rupees. The projects cater to a number of important sectors including roads, railways, solar energy, power transmission, drinking water, petroleum and natural gas. The program will be organized at about 200 places across all districts of Rajasthan, with the main program held at Jaipur. The statewide program will witness participation of lakhs of beneficiaries of various government schemes. The program will also be joined by Chief Minister Rajasthan, other ministers of Rajasthan government, MPs, MLAs and local level representatives. Prime Minister will inaugurate various national highway projects worth more than 5,000 crore rupees in Rajasthan. More from our correspondent.
Strengthening the rail infrastructure in the region, Prime Minister will dedicate to nation and lay the foundation stone of 8 important railway projects of Rajasthan worth around 2,300 crores. Mr. Modi will also dedicate to the nation Khatipura railway station. The railway station is developed as a satellite station for Jaipur. Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone and dedicate to nation important solar projects worth around rupees 5,300 crores in Rajasthan. Mr. Modi will also dedicate to nation power transmission sector projects worth more than 2,100 crore in state. Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 2,400 crores, including projects under Jal Jeevan Mission. Jitendra Dwivedi, Akashwani News, Jaipur.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to visit Rewari in Haryana today, where he will launch several development projects worth more than 9,750 crore rupees. The projects are related to urban transport, health, rail and tourism sectors. One of the projects is the Gurugram Metro Rail project, which will be built at a cost of around 5,450 crore rupees. The project's total length is 28.5 kilometers and will connect Millennium City Centre to Udyog Vihar Phase 5, merge with the existing metro network of the Rapid Metro Rail Gurugram and have a spur at Dwarka Expressway. During the program, foundation stone of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, Rewari, will be laid and newly built Anubhav Kendra Jyotisar in Kurukshetra will be inaugurated. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone and dedicate to the nation several railway projects. Government plans to dedicate to the nation 7 All India Institute of Medical Sciences in the coming days, starting from today with AIIMS Rewari. On the 20th of this month, Mr. Modi will dedicate AIIMS Jammu to the nation, while on the 25th, AIIMS institutes in Rajkot, Bhatinda, Kalyan, Mangalgiri and Rai Bareli will be dedicated to the nation. The third round of talks between the central government and farmer leaders ended in the wee hours today. The talks lasted for 5 hours approximately. Union Ministers Munda, Piyush Goyal and Nityanand Rai represented central government in the third round of talks. Mr. Munda assured to find a solution peacefully. He said the discussion with farmers was held in a positive atmosphere. He told media that it has been decided that the next meeting will take place on Sunday, 18th February.
किसान संगठनों ने जिन विषयों पर ध्यान आकृष्ट कराया है संज्ञान में लेते हुए विस्तार पूर्वक चर्चा को हमने करते हुए अगली तिथि रविवार को शाम 6 बजे के लिए फिर से आगे की चर्चा को जारी रखेंगे। ये जो माहौल है, क्योंकि हमारा मानना है कि हम सब मिलकर के शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से समाधान ढूंढेंगे, उसी की एक पहल हमारे सीनियर मिनिस्टर पीयूष जी और नित्यानंद जी के उपस्थिति में हुई है और मैं इसे बहुत सकारात्मक मानता हूँ।
The farmer leaders who took part in the meeting included Jagjit Singh Dalewal, Sarwan Singh Pandher and Jarnail Singh. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, who also attended the meeting, said that the talks were held in a cordial atmosphere and he is hopeful of finding a solution to end the deadlock. The previous 2 rounds of dialogue on February 8th and 12th remained inconclusive. The Haryana government has decided to disburse an additional sum of 18.67 crore rupees directly into the bank accounts of affected farmers as compensation for crop damage during the Kharif season. This assistance is targeted towards those who have borne the impact of crop damage across 1,692.3 acres of agricultural land. Addressing a press conference at Chandigarh yesterday, the Chief Minister Manohar Lal said that in a proactive move aimed at mitigating the challenges faced by farmers, the government has re-evaluated the compensation framework for crop losses and re-sowing activities during the season. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi returned home last evening after completing the visit to UAE and Qatar. During the visit, Prime Minister held bilateral meetings with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and inaugurated the first Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi, the Baps Mandir. He also participated in World Government Summit and laid the foundation stone of Bharat Mart in Jebel Ali, Dubai. In Qatar, Prime Minister held talks with the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani in Doha. Ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, a 2-day BJP National Convention is being held in New Delhi from tomorrow. Around 11,500 delegates, including union ministers, chief ministers of party-ruled states, state ministers, national and state party office bearers, MPs and MLAs will be participating in the event. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, senior party leader Ravi Shankar Prasad said office bearers meetings will be held on the first day of the convention. Prime Minister Modi will give the valedictory address on Sunday.
इस बार अपना लक्ष्य प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 370 का सेट किया है और लोकसभा में एनडीए 400 के पार, तो उस महान आह्वान को फलीभूत करने के लिए 17-18 को ये अपना राष्ट्रीय अधिवेशन भारत मंडपम में दिल्ली में होगा. The numbers of delegates who will be participating in the All India Conference would be around 11,500. इसमें सभी राष्ट्रीय पदाधिकारी, सभी केंद्रीय मंत्री, सारे एमपीज, पूर्व एमपीज, विधायक, मेयर, डिप्टी मेयर, जिला के अध्यक्ष और महामंत्रीगण, ये सभी उसमें रहने वाले हैं.
In Telangana, both the Congress and the BRS candidates for the Rajya Sabha elections are set to be elected unanimously. Meanwhile, Congress candidates, former Union Minister Rewari Chaudhary and former President of Telangana Youth Congress M. Anil Kumar Yadav have filed their nominations. On election, this will be Rewari Chaudhary's 4th term and Anil Kumar Yadav's debut in the upper house. With 64 MLAs, the Congress can elect 2 candidates for the Rajya Sabha. In Manipur, a protest by Kuki Zo communities turned ugly when a large number of protesters vandalized the office of the Superintendent of Police (SP) and mini secretariat of Churchandpur district last night. One protester was shot dead and many were injured when security forces fired rounds of tear gas shells to disperse the unruly mob. According to police, the incident started when protesters gathered near district police headquarters and mini secretariat against the suspension order of a head constable posted in Churchandpur. The Kuki police personnel was kept under suspension after a video went viral on social media in which he was seen along with armed miscreants with weapons. In the United States, Coordinator for Strategic Communications at the National Security Council, John Kirby, said that there is no excuse for violence based on race, gender, or any other factor. He was answering questions related to recent attacks on the Indian students in the US. Mr. Kirby said that it is unacceptable in the country, and President Joe Biden and his administration have been working hard to make sure they are doing everything they can to thwart and disrupt those kind of attacks.
For violence, certainly based on race or gender or religion or any other factor. That's just unacceptable here in the United States. And the President, this administration, has been working very, very hard to make sure we're doing everything we can to work with state and local authorities to try to thwart and disrupt those kinds of attacks and make it clear to anybody who might consider them that they'll be held properly accountable.
On February 7th, a 41-year-old Indian origin man died in the US days after suffering life-threatening injuries as a result of an assault in Washington. Earlier on February 4th also, an Indian student faced a brutal attack in Chicago. Following the attack, the Indian consulate in Chicago stated that it was in touch with the victim as well as his wife in India. In tennis, India's Sumit Nagal, who is ranked 98th, continued his dominant run, defeating Hong Kong's Coleman Wong in straight sets to enter the men's singles quarterfinal of the Bengaluru Open last evening. Nagal, who secured victory in the ATP Challengers title in Chennai last week, was in brilliant form, finishing the game against Wong 6-2, 7-5 in an hour and 45 minutes. He will take on Adam Walton of Australia in the quarterfinal today. In cricket, India will resume their first innings at the overnight score of 326 for 5 against England on the second day of the third test in Rajkot today. On day one yesterday, choosing to bat first, hosts amassed a decent total after initial hiccups, losing 3 wickets at 33. Skipper Rohit Sharma and all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja then turned things around with a massive double-century stand. Jadeja's knock of 110 oozed solidity to the Indian innings on a batting-friendly track alongside the skipper's ton. Debutant Sarfaraz Khan kept the momentum going as he completed his first half-century on his debut. He became the third fastest Indian batter to score 50 on Test debut after Yuvraj Singh and Hardik Pandya. For England, Mark Wood took 3 wickets. Overnight batters Jadeja and night watchman Kuldeep Yadav will resume the Indian innings at 9:30 this morning. Indian Met Department has forecast that fresh active western disturbance is likely to affect northwest India from tomorrow. Fairly widespread rainfall and snowfall accompanied with thunderstorms, lightning and hail is likely over western Himalayan region from Sunday onwards. Dense fog conditions are also likely to prevail in the morning hours in isolated pockets of Bihar and Odisha tomorrow. In the national capital, moderate fog is likely to prevail today. According to Central Pollution Control Board, the city's air quality index was recorded at 273 at 7 a.m. this morning. And now, for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Nina Arekal.
Thank you, Pramod. PM's Thanksgiving, the Qatar Emir, is widely covered in mostly all the papers. PM thanks Emir over the release of 8 Indians is the lead in the Hindustan Times. In Qatar, PM thanks Emir for release of 8 Navy vets is the lead in the Times of India. PM thanks Qatar Emir for release of 8 ex-Navy men, headlines the Tribune. Almost all papers have on their front page the story of the Supreme Court striking down the Centre's 2018 electoral bond scheme of political funding, declaring it to be unconstitutional. Supreme Court lets the sunlight in, headlines the Indian Express. The Asian Age says Supreme Court strikes down electoral bonds as unconstitutional. All papers have covered the story of the talks between the agitating farmers and government stretching past midnight as interlocutors tried to hammer out compromises to key sticking points. And finally, snow in Himalayan region, rain in nearby plains this weekend, predicts Met Department. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Nina. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Viksit Bharat Viksit Rajasthan program and inaugurate national highway projects worth more than 5,000 crore rupees in the state this morning. Prime Minister to also launch development projects worth more than 9,750 crore rupees in Rewari, Haryana today. Centre holds talks with Kisan Union leaders on their various demands including a law guaranteeing MSP for crops. In Bengaluru Open Tennis, Sumit Nagal enters men's singles quarterfinals, beating Coleman Wong of Hong Kong in straight sets. And in cricket, India to resume their first innings at the overnight score of 326 for 5 against England on the second day of the third test in Rajkot. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.